Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder, as we're just going to jump right into it. So I actually recorded a video beforehand this, and I was going to upload it, and then I went to check it, and apparently the video file got corrupt, which I was actually really upset about. So in that, I did split it 1-1, which is my rating currently is 1881, as Daki from Italy with a rating of 1807 is going to be our first opponent of the day. I do think I played Daki before, I don't remember exactly, pretty sure though, as we go into team preview here. He's got a team of Suicune, Breloom, Kangaskhan, Terrakion, Sylveon, and Heatran, so very similar teams. We have the Terrakion, Heatran, and Suicune in, we both have that, but I've got the Venusaur, which I think is actually really good in this matchup, so I'm going to want to conserve that. Gengar here is pretty solid as well, and of course Bisharp, which I'm probably not going to want to bring in this match. So the real question here is, who do I want to lead with? Is the question really always. I feel like Kangaskhan and Breloom is the safest lead for my opponent, so I'm actually going to lead with Venusaur. Oops. Going to my profile page there. I'm going to go with Venusaur and Gengar. Yeah. I think that's the really safest option I have against anything my opponent can have. Suicune in the back just because it really beats Terrakion and Heatran. And for my last one, I'm thinking my own Terrakion. Just because it can one-hit KO Heatran and Kangaskhan. Having a way to one-hit KO and Kangaskhan here is great. So you know what, I'm just going to lock in and we'll go from here. So it should be an interesting match. I feel like I definitely have the upper hand in terms of Mega Evolution. But, of course, my opponent has a Heatran, and Heatran is not a very fun Pokemon to deal with when you're running Mega Venusaur, so I'm going to want to watch out for that, but we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, I like the matchup here. I think Breloom is also one of the scarier Pokemon I could go up against. Of course, most Breloom in VGC tend to carry Focus Sash. It's interesting to note Breloom because it actually won the European Regional. Baz Anderson used it on his winning regional team with Liepard, Breloom, Mega Scizor, Thundurus, Cresselia, and Terrakion. So Breloom is definitely a really strong option. It was pretty common at the end of VGC 13. I know I won a regionals with it, Sejong Park won nationals with it, a bunch of other players used it, and it was really good, especially in combination with Liepard, just because, you know, relatively speedy, you're more offensive than Amoonguss, and you can definitely get Spores off. So I'm going to have to watch out for Breloom just because, you know, Spores are annoying to deal with, but Mega Venusaur is a great answer to it. But we're going to see Kangaskhan and Suicune coming out for Daki here. Shiny Suicune. With that special animation as well, very cool. Against my Gengar and Venusaur, so pretty decent lead matchup here, I'd say. I think the best play for my opponent here is to fake out Gengar, assuming it's Scrappy, and Tailwind with Suicune. So I'm going to Mega Evolve, go straight for a Giga Drain onto Suicune to get damage off, and switch into my own Suicune for Gengar. That way I could set up a Tailwind of my own. And you do have to excuse me, guys, I am still slightly sick. Of course, I've been sick for the last couple of days. Really not too bad, it's just a cold, so for everyone, you know, telling me, it's okay if you don't record, totally fine with me. I do want to still get daily content out, and it's really not that bad of a illness. So, thanks to you guys, and hopefully it'll go away before St. Louis Regionals, which, of course, is this weekend. So I'm going to switch out Gengar, expecting a fake out there to conserve my Focus Sash, but let's see if my opponent actually goes for it or not. Suicune, of course, exerting its pressure. Venusaur Mega Evolving first, so that indicates to me like Kangaskhan did not Mega Evolve, which means it most likely went for the Scrappy Fake Out onto the Suicune spot. But let's see. Yep, there we go. So I do predict that correctly, as that's not going to do too much damage. Oh wow, but we actually see the Snarl come out from Suicune right away, so no Tailwind. Good play there. Decreasing the special attack of my Venusaur, of course, and of course of my switched in Suicune. That play makes a lot of sense, especially given that I had Gengar in that spot before I switched out. So, you know, I'm still going to get a Giga Drain off, but obviously that's not doing as much as it would have beforehand. So, let's see. Suicune is definitely the bigger threat right now. I want to Leech Seed here, and Tailwind with my own Suicune. I think my opponent's Suicune here is going to Tailwind, though. But you know what? I'm going to go for the Leech Seed for the long term and Tailwind with my own Suicune. Not too worried about Kangaskhan, you know, maybe can Double Edge my Venusaur, sure, but then I'll be taking damage. I am curious as to whether it's carrying Double Edge or Return. If it's carrying Double Edge, then it's going to start doing a lot of damage to itself, which is obviously great for me. But I'm going to want to knock out the Suicune here just so my Terrakion in the back can have a better matchup against my opponent's entire team. But very good first turn on my opponent's end. Of course, I run Snarl on my own Suicune. I really wasn't expecting the Snarl to come out there, but ended up being a really clutch move, of course, because Venusaur's Giga Drain was doing not nearly as much as it would have if I were at full power. So, nice way to start off the game for my opponent, especially given that most of my team is special. Kangaskhan here is going to Mega Evolve, so we're going to see what it goes for here, but, you know, that play makes sense. Obviously, no reason not to Mega Evolve, given that Gengar's not on the field anyway. He goes for the low kick into Venusaur, though. Definitely an ambitious prediction there. Probably predicting me to switch out into Bisharp. Or even Terrakion, but I get the free Tailwind up with my Suicune. Question is whether my opponent's Suicune also went for the Tailwind, as it did. So we trade Tailwinds there, but I get free Leech Seed off, basically. As hopefully it connects there, as it does. Yeah, so that's great. I wasn't anticipating the low kick. Definitely a prediction from my opponent's Kangaskhan. Not sure, you know, because I can take double edges and returns with relative ease given how defensively bulky I am. So, I don't know, that was a play that I think was way too aggressive and probably not necessary, but, you know, I'm not going to complain, obviously. So we both get Tailwind up, and I get the Leech Seed off against Suicune, which is obviously fantastic. I think I'm going to Leech Seed the Kangaskhan here and go for the Snarl to decrease my opponent's Suicune special attack. My opponent here might also want to switch out, but Snarl can, you know, break potential Focus Sashes, as we're actually going to see the Suicune switch out into Terrakion. Okay, I was slightly concerned about the Terrakion switching, into Heatran, excuse me. The Terrakion switching from my opponent, as Kangaskhan going for the Facade onto Suicune. So, of course, Facade is an attack we don't see as common as, say, Double Edge / Return. Mainly because, you know, it relies on you getting inflicted by a status condition. So I'm really glad that, you know, I didn't go for, like, a Will-O-Wisp on it right away. Even though, obviously, I switched out Gengar. But Leech Seed here connects with the Kangaskhan, which is fantastic. And I got the Snarl off against Heatran. So, pretty optimal turn for me there. And yeah, that means Facade's going to be doing even less damage against this Venusaur, which is fantastic for me. So I'm going to Giga Drain this Kangaskhan. And now I'm just going to go straight for the Scald onto Heatran. I need to get damage off. The last 2 turns were kind of passive, so I'm going to try to pick up some more damage here. But, you know, I've seen the Kangaskhan, I've seen the Heatran, I've seen the Suicune, so I'm wondering what Daki's last Pokemon is. But the thing is, like I said, Venusaur has a fantastic matchup really against everything, so now I just want to try to pick up a KO so I can, you know, get the ball rolling. As we're going to see Facade targeting Suicune once again, but not doing that much damage, of course, weaker than Return / Double Edge. Heatran going for the Earth Power into Venusaur instead of the Heat Wave, but at -1 special attack, it's really not going to do anything, so I'm going to get the Scald off here with Suicune. Of course, I'm at -1 as well, but that looks like a critical hit. Yeah, untimely critical hit there, and I get a Giga Drain off against Kangaskhan as well, so slowly just whittling away at my opponent's HP. That crit definitely helps out a lot, makes things a bit easier, as I do continue to steal Kangaskhan's HP with this Leech Seed, so definitely feeling really good about my position right now. Let's see. Still got Gengar and Terrakion in the back as well. The question here is, you know, I could switch out Suicune into Gengar, but no, I'm not going to. I'm just going to Leech Seed Heatran and go for a Scald. I'm fine if he KOs Suicune here with another Facade, as Heatran goes for the Smart Protect, nicely done. But this is actually going to allow me to switch in Terrakion and Rock Slide the following turn, as Kangaskhan does go for another Facade targeting down Suicune. I think that'll knock me out. So it does. But I'm not very worried about a Facade Kangaskhan, given that I can't really do it very much against my Venusaur, as obviously Leech Seed's not going to do anything here. But that Kangaskhan HP slowly falling away. Tailwind here does peter out from both ends, so I'm down now, of course, but I can bring in Terrakion for free. Another thing is I'm actually not sure whether a Rock Slide can KO, so I'm probably going to want to play it a bit safer and go for the Giga Drain here onto Kangaskhan and protect with my Terrakion. My opponent might double up into Venusaur with, say, a Facade / Heat Wave, but I get to heal back from the Giga Drain and Leech Seed regardless. Yeah, you know, Rock Slide I don't think would have knocked out Kangaskhan in that range, so not a risk I was willing to take. I guess I actually could have double kicked Kangaskhan and Leech Seeded the Heatran spot to ensure a double KO this turn, since Earth Power would not knock out Terrakion, especially given that it's at -1 special attack. So in retrospect, I think I just misplayed a bit, but we'll see. Given the position I'm in, I definitely should have been on the offensive a bit more. But okay, he's actually going to stay in with Heatran, which is good news for me, as my Terrakion here is going to protect. Kangaskhan does go for the low kick into Terrakion, and Heatran does get that -1 special attack Heat Wave off, but not going to do too much damage to Venusaur, which of course is Thick Fed as well. Just hoping for no burn here, and I do not get burned, which is great. Do get the Giga Drain off against Kangaskhan. That's going to put it in Rock Slide KO range. Though I might actually want a low kick instead to ensure that no misses happen. Let's see. But yeah, this is things are looking really good right now for sure. You know, the thing is, even if I low kick, I still have to rely on hitting Leech Seed, so I'm just going to Giga Drain Heatran in case it wants to switch out into Suicune and go for the Rock Slide. Normally, you know, you want to go for the more accurate plays, but this is one of the cases where it'd be really good if I could just hit the Rock Slide. I mean, no, in retrospect, it still probably would have been safer to knock out Kangaskhan since Heatran's not really a big threat. We're actually going to see Kangaskhan switch out, interesting, into Breloom. Okay, good switch from my opponent there. Let's see if Heatran stays in, as it's also shiny. Heatran switches out perfect because I did Giga Drain that spot, so perfect turn for me here. Especially because my opponent just has no answers to my Venusaur right now, so I'm feeling really good. As Suicune comes out, exerts its pressure. Shiny Suicune looks really nice. Rock Slide is going to connect with both Pokemon, and that's actually really good, even against Breloom, because Breloom is a Pokemon that, like I said, often carries Focus Sash, as I actually get a critical hit there against the Suicune. Probably not going to be able to knock it out with the Giga Drain, but we'll see. I'm not expecting to, given that I'm at -1 special attack after the turn 1 Snarl, but hey, you know what? I'll take that any day, as I do a ton of damage there. So, let's see. I think the main thing I'm afraid of right now is the Suicune setting up a Tailwind. But I do want to conserve Terrakion because the Kangaskhan and the Heatran are both in Rock Slide KO range. Let's see. Venusaur shouldn't outspeed Suicune, so I could just close combat Suicune. Or Rock Slide, I guess. But then Breloom can just knock me out with a Bullet Seed. But then, you know what? I'm just going to take the trade-off here. Actually, I should have double-kicked Suicune instead of Rock Sliding there. But Rock Slide gives me the flinch chance. But I think double-kick / close combat would have been a better play. So, made my moves a bit too fast there. But Breloom actually goes for the Mach Punch. That shouldn't knock out Terrakion. So, that should seal the game up, actually. As long as I connect with Rock Slide here. So yeah, you know, I shouldn't have even allowed myself to give that risk, and I should have just closed combat Suicune, but I was afraid. The reason why I made the Rock Slide play was because I knew if my opponent's Breloom went for the Mach Punch. Actually, no. Yeah, I was afraid, you know, if the Breloom didn't go for a Mach Punch, like it went for a Spore or Bullet Seed, I had the chance to flinch and I would have gotten even more damage off. And if it just stayed in and went for the Mach Punch, then I knew Terrakion would have been able to hang on and attack. But double kick / close combat probably would have been the safer play there to ensure a knockout, but I'm not going to complain as I pick up a double knockout. Kangaskhan and Heatran coming back out for my opponent. Going to play it safe here, protecting with my Venusaur, and yeah, I'm actually just going to double protect here to prevent any fake outs. And then the following turn, I can just double kick and Leech Seed, or Giga Drain. So yeah, this should be a win for me, especially given how low Heatran and Kangaskhan's HPs are, but of course, never over until it's actually over. Definitely a really fun and drawn-out game, though. This is one of the reasons why I love VGC 15 so much. I really like how defensive things can be, and how it's just a really fun format. So we do see the Fake Out coming out there. So I'm just going to Giga Drain Kang and go for the double kick into Heatran. See if Kang wants to go for the Sucker Punch onto Terrakion. It does go for the Sucker Punch, okay. Don't think that... Oh, it might knock me out, actually. Let's see. I think it will. Oh, I hang on with 2 HP. Clutch. So I knew that Sucker Punch play was definitely a possibility, but... Actually, yeah, no, in retrospect, what I should have done was Leech Seed the Heatran, because once Heatran goes down, Kangaskhan loses to the Gengar I had in the back. But I didn't think Sucker Punch would KO in that range anyway, so I do pick up 2 KOs here with Giga Drain and Double Kick, and I will be able to win our first game of today's episode, which is great. So great game to Daki here. If I remember correctly, this is the first guy I played against on Road to Ranked who actually featured the Suicune. I think it might have been the first time we saw Suicune on Road to Ranked. I'd have to check on that, but it was a great game. He actually beat me the first time we played. if I recall correctly. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly, but either way, that was a fun game, so thanks to him. Mega Venusaur definitely the MVP there, as it was able to do so much. As we're just going to look for another battle. Definitely getting the Scald crit earlier on, like I mentioned, made things a bit easier, as right now we do have a rating of 1894, so a win here would put us with 100 wins, 50 losses, with the 2-to-1 win-loss ratio exactly, as Paul is our opponent yet again. I've already lost track of how many times I've played Paul in Road to Rank, guys, honestly. Like, we've played so many times. This probably is like my 15th time playing Paul this season. So, this should be exciting. Paul Chua, of course, for those that may be watching Road to Rank for the first time, won U.S. Nationals in 2013 in the Seniors Division, finished in the top 4 in 2012 and 2014, top 8 at Worlds in 2013. I played Paul at Nationals and Worlds in 2012, and we played at a Premier Challenge earlier on this season as well. He's one of the top players. He actually finished, I think, #1 overall in the world on Battle Spot with this team last season, and I featured him, a bunch of times on the channel already, and obviously he's still sticking with the same Pokemon. So, question is, what Pokemon do I bring? Mega Venusaur here is actually very, very good against Paul's entire team. Gengar is always a good option. Gengar is always a pretty solid option. Like, the thing is, Bisharp is so good in this matchup because he's got the double Intimidate from Scrafty and Landers, so typically Paul likes to lead with Heatran to try to knock out my Bisharp immediately. I could actually lead with Terrakion, which threatens Heatran and Togekiss. Actually, now that I think about it, Terrakion Bisharp is very solid. Yeah, I like that a lot. Venusaur in the back. And for the last one, I don't know. The question is whether Paul's going to bring Abomasnow in this match or not. I feel like he wouldn't, given how good my team matches up against Abomasnow. And if he doesn't, then I can just bring in Suicune, which is very solid against Paul's team. So I'm actually going to bring Suicune because it beats the Landorus, the Togekiss, and the Heatran. So, another match with Paul here. It should be exciting. He should be at Virginia Regionals, I think, this weekend as well. So he's one of the big names to look out for there. He's definitely the player I think has the most potential after aging up from seniors last year. We're gonna see Jellicent and Scrafty here from my opponent, from Paul. So this is the first time I've seen Paul willingly lead with Scrafty, but it makes sense here because Scrafty, of course, can just go for the fake out immediately. But now we're in a tricky position because, let's see. This is nicely done by Paul. He's definitely going to fake out Bisharp here. The question is whether Jellicent goes for the Trick Room or the Water Spout, which is a play I know Paul likes to make a lot. What I could do here is switch immediately into Venusaur with Terrakion, which I think is what I'm going to go for. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm just going to go for the knockoff on Jellicent in case he doesn't fake out my Bisharp, but I really think the fake out's going to go onto it. But Venusaur here, excellent Pokemon, like I said, against Paul's entire team. Yep, Scrafty does go for the fake out. I actually should have protected Bisharp there because Water Spout might come out from Jellicent here. But it goes for the TR, perfect, okay. I think TR was the better play for Paul there. But that ends up working out alright. So let's see. Paul's probably going to want to switch out Jellicent here and attack with Scrafty. It's not like Jellicent can do very much, so Jellicent's probably going to attack, switch out, and he's just going to Drain Punch Bisharp. The question is who he's going to switch out to. I could Sludge Bomb the Jellicent spot, expecting the Mega Abomasnow to switch out. Alternatively, I could just Giga Drain Scrafty, or maybe Sludge Bomb for more damage output. I don't need Recovery as much right now. So yeah, I'm actually going to Sludge Bomb Scrafty and Protect here. He's going to stay in with Jellicent though. Okay, good play. So Venusaur is going to Mega Evolve here. Let's see what Paul goes for. Bisharp protects. Maybe Jellicent protected too. That would make sense as well. Nope, it went straight for the attack, so Paul going all in here, most definitely doubling up on Venusaur. Oh, nope, okay, he went for the safe play. It was like, I get damage off with my Jellicent, and if you decide to stay in with that Bisharp, I'm going to pick up a knockout there with Drain Punch. So good play by Paul. I'm actually going to play this a bit safer by... Let's see. I'm actually going to Leech Seed Scrafty and switch Bisharp out into Suicune. Bisharp is really good because it can one-hit KO Paul's Jellicent. He is going to switch that Jellicent out this time around into the Abomasnow. So he did bring Abomasnow this game. Okay. Of course, Snow Warning activating there as well. So like I said, the reason why I'm conserving Scrafty is because once Trick Room expires, not Scrafty, excuse me, Bisharp, it can one-hit KO Pulse, Abomasnow, and Jellicent. So I'm going to switch in Suicune here, which obviously isn't very good, given that he just brought in Abomasnow, but he's going to get a Drain Punch off against Suicune. Actually does a pretty good amount of damage, more than I expected. But hopefully Leech Seed connects with the Scrafty here, as it does. That's great. So Scrafty is going to be losing HP from both this Leech Seed and the Hail damage from Abomasnow every turn, which is really good news for me. And Paul's definitely playing under a timer right now. But Venusaur not exactly at the highest HP right now. That is 2 turns of Trick Room gone already though, which is obviously good for me. So let's see what I want to do. Now is where the battle gets good. I feel like these turns are definitely going to be more intense. What I could do here is protect Venusaur and Snarl with Suicune, though he might just go Giga Drain into my Suicune. You know what? I'm actually going to Sludge Bomb directly into Abomasnow and go for the Scald onto Scrafty. It's a bit aggressive here, but if Paul does go for the Giga Drain onto Suicune, then that Abomasnow is going down. Though in retrospect, I think Blizzard plus Crunch onto Venusaur is the right play here, but I don't want to lose too much offense. Okay, he goes for the Blizzard play. Let's see. Venusaur takes that pretty well. Might be actually able to take a Crunch from the Scrafty. Let's see. I think it will be able to handle this Crunch. Yeah, Mega Venusaur is so clutch there, able to hang out with 20 HP. That's absolutely huge, as I'm going to get a Sludge Bomb and a Scald off here. Sludge Bomb not knocking out the Abomasnow, but hey, I'll take any damage I can get, as I am going to get the Scald off against Scrafty here as well. Getting the Burn as well, wow. It does have the Lumberry, so Burn not mattering there, but I'm going to be able to heal back a bit more with this Leech Seed. Of course, the Hail is still taken down. This is the last turn of Trick Room, though, and this makes things a bit interesting. I think what Paul can do here is actually Giga Drain and... let's see. If I were him, I'd Giga Drain and Drain Punch Suicune. Because I don't have any safe switch-ins for that. You know, I think I'm fine with losing my Suicune here. I'll just protect. And, yeah, you know, that's fine. He can KO Suicune. The other question is, do I want to protect with Venusaur? I don't think Giga Drain can knock out Suicune, actually. So what I could do here is actually just attack into Abomasnow. Yeah, I'm actually going to make that play. Because I think he's going to double up into Suicune. So I'm going to Sludge Bomb Scald here. He actually withdraws Scrafty, okay. Into Jellicent. Ah, good switch there. As Abomasnow actually goes for the Energy Ball onto Suicune. That's going to knock me out. Very good switch by Paul's end there, because it means he can actually set up another Trick Room now. Because Trick Room's going to expire here, but now he can bring in Scrafty and get another Fake Out plus Trick Room combination up. So this is a very scary and it's a good battle for sure. I'm really enjoying this. As of course both of our Pokemon taking damage from Hail, but the Scrafty is heavily damaged, which is pretty important here. So obviously I'm going to bring in Bisharp here. And the main thing is that Scrafty is almost KO'd. Paul might reveal his 4th Pokemon here though, which could be Landorus, Heatran, or... Oh, it is going to be Landorus. Okay. Okay. Huh. Now this game gets interesting. Okay, let's think about this. So the thing is, I don't think Sucker Punch can actually KO Landorus. This is actually really tough. Paul's got me in a tricky position here right now. Let's think about this. But with the hail damage, I think I could KO Landorus the next turn with Sucker Punch. So what I could do is just protect with Bisharp. And... Oops, sorry about that. That's my phone ringing. I think what I'm actually going to do here is... Because I think that Jellicent might want to... Yeah, this is... I got it. So I'm going to just double protect here. Because Jellicent might want to set up a Trick Room. So I'm thinking Paul's play here might actually be to Earthquake and Trick Room with Jellicent. No, actually, that doesn't make much sense now that I think about it. We'll see. Oh, he does go for the EQ, so I really think we're going to see Trick Room from Jellicent. I mean, that way it sets up the Scrafty in the back, but Paul just did a ton of damage, obviously, to himself, which I'm not going to complain about, as Jellicent does eat that Citrus Berry up. Let's see what Jelly goes for here. Yep, it did go for the Trick Room. Perfect. So that actually ends up working out ideally. I did actually manage to call that. This is like one of the cases where when you play a player so much, you really feel like you have a read on the plays they might make. So that's fantastic for me here. Let's see. I think I can just... I think I'm going to knock off Landorus, because Water Spout won't KO me. Yeah, I'm just going to Giga Drain here. He's probably going to Water Spout, but I don't want to switch into Terrakion. Actually, maybe... Nah, it's better to... Well, Water Spout won't knock out my Terrakion, though, so you know what? I'm actually going to switch out to Terrakion. And knock off Landorus. Mainly because that way I can stall out Trick Room a bit better. Man, this is a really good episode. I'm really liking this. Oh, Landorus actually goes for the Protect. I should have anticipated that. For some reason, I thought it was Choice Landorus. That was a really bad play for me, as he gets the Water Spout off for free. Oh, man, I just messed up. Oh, that does so much damage, too. Wow. I just misplayed really badly. Hail does stop, though, which is good. But... Oh, man, now it's intense. That was a very bad play on my end. Mainly because... should have, you know, I knew Paul's Landorus had Protect. It was just one of the cases where I really forgot it did. So now the question is, what is Paul going to go for? Because he might be tempted to EQ once again with his own Landorus. He could also just switch out into Scrafty and attack with Jellicent. So I could knock off Landorus once again. But then Water Spout obviously just KOs me. This is really hard. Oh man, okay. Oh, he stayed in with both. Yikes. I should have protected with Bisharp there. Oh, Jellicent got the Water Spout off. Oh, Paul, you're so good. It's gonna KO me, yeah. I was gonna protect with Bisharp there, but I ran out of time. SE actually went for the U-turn. Oh, good play. Ah, man. I think that's gonna be game, actually. I really messed up that end game. That one turn where Landorus protected. Like, I knew it had Protect, but I just forgot it even got it. So Paul's gonna end up winning this game here. So, very nicely played by Paul. I think the key turn for him there was when he switched, double critting there, was when he switched out the Scrafty into Jellicent, because that gave him really all momentum back and allowed him to set up Trick Room once again. So, yeah, I really messed up. I should have just Sucker Punched Jellicent. If I just Sucker Punched it there, it would have been fine. But great, very nicely played by Paul. It's a really testament to how good of a player he is, and I think the last few times I featured him on Road to Rank, you know, we've split it back and forth. So great game to him there. Always fun playing him. I thought he played that very nicely, and you know, every time we play, it's always a different lead matchup. So definitely a fun game. So unfortunately, we're gonna be a bit below the 1900s before tomorrow's episode, but you know, it just makes it a bit more exciting. So 2 really fun games for you guys today. We keep on getting matched up against all these amazing 1800 rated players. Paul, you saw there was over 1900, so lots of fun. But as always, leave a like if you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you tomorrow. Alright, peace.